After rebranding Twitter, Elon Musk unveiled its new iteration called X will offer users an entire financial world. In late July, he tweeted, "In the months to come, we will add comprehensive communications and the ability to conduct your entire financial world." The Twitter name does not make sense in that context, so we must bid adieu to the bird. Here to discuss the new, quote, everything app, as Musk calls it, is academic fellow and lecturer in law at Columbia Law School, Raul Correa. Welcome, Raul. You are the guy to break this down with us. I'm so excited to have you on.
Hi, Jessica. It's great to join you. Thanks for having me join.
So let's get into it. Let's just start with the basics of the app. Elon Musk has always had this dream to control some form of online banking, originating, years and years ago from the genesis of his work as CEOs of companies. His original online banking app had a security flaw so bad that you could access anyone's account by simply having the account number. That raises some flags for me, having Elon Musk control any kind of fintech. But what do you make just of Elon's dedication to having people control their entire financial world on X?
Sure thing. Well, there's a lot to be said here. I think that Elon returning to the payment space after having been a key part of the founding of PayPal, previously known as X.com, is very exciting in and of its own self, in that we have a character who has had disregard for the law and regulation in previous instances, taking on what is really an exciting sort of burgeoning industry and putting his own spin on it. That said, Elon's move to get into the financial services space after making X a payments platform is a structural turn in the industry. He is following a broader trend of tech companies becoming involved in financial services, in no small part to collect financial data.
Let's talk a little bit about the existing fintech we have, financial technology like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Even I would say things like Bitcoin type interfaces where they're existing as a kind of online wallet, a place many people store dollars, but they're not regulated by the same kind of regulations as a bank would if they're required to obtain a banking charter. What do you make of the lack of financial regulation when it comes to technologies as this, and the risk of a new one like X controlled by Elon?
Right. Thanks for laying that out. So, Jessica, financial institutions have always been technology companies, and technology companies have always been financial institutions to a certain extent. But what we've seen happen in the last 15 years or so is an increasing automation of finance, making it allegedly faster, more convenient, easier to use at the consumer end. And we've seen a lot of financial technologies technologies used to create competition, so to speak, between Wall Street and Silicon Valley. But just as importantly, and this is a critical part of the story here, financial institutions and technology companies have collaborated just as much as coordinated and competed around this industry for some time. And so we've seen a history of corporate partnerships between banks and between technology companies, in which they each sort of use each other to avoid regulations within their respective industries. So we have weak financial regulation in this country, we have weak tech regulation in this country, and we have companies that are working together to avoid critical laws and regulations with respect to each industry. And those include laws that protect our balances, our funds, protect us when there are errors. They protect small businesses from bigger businesses. They protect the separation between banking and other industries. They protect the resilience and the safety and soundness of the financial system. And so we're seeing Elon being probably the most aggressive player in a recent wave of technology companies that are trying to get into these small financial services, especially to try to get the data that payments and lending and eventually perhaps insurance, securities. Elon is asking for people to help with trading apps, perhaps all kinds of financial services, getting that data and using it to make predictions about customers in a controlled environment and increase the power of the company.
So another thing Elon's talked about is incorporating cryptocurrency into this X platform. When he says entire financial world, he's not just talking about, our fiat currency, the dollar in the United States. He's talking about bringing in crypto, which I would push back on that crypto has ever served the function of currency. And I would even apply that judgment to things like stablecoin. But what do you make of him again dipping his toe in the cryptocurrency thing? We know that in the past, he used his public presence on Twitter to get a bunch of people to purchase Dogecoin, creating a lot of hype around it. And a lot of folks said that that was actually illegal, that he was using his public presence to inflate the price of Dogecoins so that he could profit off of it. What do you make of crypto being a part of this financial world?
Yeah, this is a very important question, especially given Elon's rich history of moving markets, moving crypto markets, even during this time. It's quite a period in which to be bullish about crypto. I think that honestly, we will have to see how much of that is bluster and how much of that is Elon trying to find out who his allies are in Silicon Valley and the tech spaces more broadly. At the moment, I think Elon has figured out, perhaps from the lessons of Mark Zuckerberg trying to get into finance, that starting boring is perhaps best. Small payments within the Twitter app, etc. But then it's easy to see how one could move on to crypto from there, especially with the existing crypto wallet system under attack. I wouldn't put it past Mr. Musk to eventually incorporate anything where he could, turn a profit into his financial services ecosystem. But I would imagine this would at least be step 2 or 3 down the road.
I think as an average working person, the 2008 financial crisis was a time where a lot of people lost hope in the financial system in the United States. Some people thought Dodd-Frank went too far, which is an extreme position that I definitely disagree with. And many people thought, it didn't go far enough in establishing a better financial order going forward. I don't think all financial technology is bad. I don't think all banks are bad. It can be easy to lose hope. But I think there's a lot of positive thinking when it comes to the future of financial technology, especially when we think of public fintech. Should we be afraid of all fintech, or is there some potential for good financial technologies role?
Thanks, Jessica. I think there is a great opportunity here to start innovating for public purpose, to start building things that we can all use safely and freely. That means that we don't have to use the tools that Musk and other corporate titans build that take advantage of us, that spy on us, that lack protections, etc. All of this tech, much of it was built with the help of the US government or public agencies, etc. The tech that runs, that undergirds Elon's, history of operations is often publicly funded and publicly supported. And there is promise here, I think, to build alternative, simple products. There's no reason, and here Musk and his business partners are right, that payments should be so slow, that they should be so inconvenient, etc. But all of these financial services and these visions will make money for Mr. Musk and his corporate partners at the expense of what is serving a simple public purpose. Mr. Musk wants us to help send money across borders, to pay each other for basic things. The government of the United States is already in the business of money. If you look at the dollar in your pocket, if you look at the variety of instruments and devices that are offered at the post office and through mainstream banks via the government, there's a chance for public innovation here. And if we don't want these companies avoiding regulations, as Musk and his partners are likely to do, then what we really want is a public system, a public alternative that is, again, safe and freely available to everyone.
We'll really value your perspective on all of this. Thank you so much for coming on and breaking it down.